what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the back-to-back AFC North champion, Cincinnati Bengals. Now, do me a favor. If you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 2,108 subscribers. As always, I say I couldn't do this without you guys, so I appreciate you. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, why not? Please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel, Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button, hit the bell for notification, and every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, we're doing exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So if you have a question that you want me to answer about AJ Greene retiring, about if I watch Super Bowl or whatever you want to generally support the show. And also, I do have guests today. I got Greg and I got Bengals captain on today, so I do have guests. I've got something for them. Give me a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. And the Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And you know it. I know football season's over for the Bengals, but like I keep saying, beer drinking season's never over. So if you guys wanted the Jackpot Joey beer, it's from Brink Brewery. It's at Brink Brewery right there on Hamilton Avenue. You also get it at some local Kroger's, the Cork and Bottle in Kentucky, Jungle Gems. Here in Delhi, it's at Delhi Liquor. So lots of different places. Make sure you go there and support the beer. If you want anything, and the hats, I'm not wearing any today, but if you want the hats, flags, or anything like that, go right there to jackpotjoey9.com. Remember, portions of every purchase go to the Joe Burrow Fund. And if you have not signed up yet, why not? Sports betting is legal in Ohio. So make sure you go sign up. Go bet on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to next year. That's why I told everybody at Arrowhead, we're going to see you in Cincinnati next year. All right, guys, what's up to everybody in the chat? Let's see. Nicholas, you're first. Stranger, what's up? Pork Chop. Bengals Cap is in there. Haas, Sherry, Brian, Lindsay, what's going on? Yes. I like this. Will AJ come to the Bengals for a one-day contract to retire a Bengal? I hope so. That's kind of what I'm shooting for, but we'll see. I'm kind of curious what Cap and Greg have to say about it. Let me see. I gotta find Cap. So I gotta find your intro. Where is your intro? Hey, you know what? Never mind. Screw it. We're just going live. You guys are just gonna pop it without the intro. What's up? What's going on, Cap? What's going on, Greg?
Boom. How you doing?
What's going on?
Good. Hey. You guys, I appreciate you jumping on the show. I had somebody cancel on me, and you guys jumped on the last minute. So I'm sorry I didn't get the intros like I normally do, but either way, I appreciate you guys jumping on as soon as you have. So, all right, real quick. AJ Greene announced his retirement. What's the first thing that comes to your head of AJ Greene? A play, a moment, whatever. Go ahead, Cap. I'll let you go first.
There's too many. Honestly, it's probably one of the charity events I got to hang out with him and meet him. He is incredibly nice and very quiet. Like you know me, I make people uncomfortable because of how loud I can be.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm never loud.
It made me uncomfortable how quiet he was. Like I'm like I had to mirror he's just, a man of few words, like he said. But at the it was an event at Eddie Merlot's, and he juggled for tip money. Yes. The tip money was going to the charity, of course. He juggled at the table, turn around, and he's juggling. And yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
All right, Greg, what's your favorite play, moment, whatever you got of AJ Greene?
Cap said it the best. I mean, he was quiet. He did all of his talking on the field. AJ Greene, just very quiet, but I'm just waiting to say, I think we can all agree he'll be in the Ring of Honor, just a matter of time when years come and all that. I mean, AJ Greene, if I had to think of one of my favorite plays ever, I believe it was his rookie year against the Browns with Joe Hayden. Andy Dalton completes a huge pass to him and it pretty much sets us up to win the game. That was my first big remember with AJ Greene. I mean, just so many plays with AJ. Just one of the, I mean, it's tough to say between him and Chad and all that, but I'll put it this way. If he was on my team right now in his prime, I would not complain.
Absolutely. And just like Tom Brooks says here, AJ was a true professional in every sense of the word. I mean, and we never had any issues with him or anything like that. He always showed up. He always played hard for us. So, I mean, I really hope that the Bengals do sign him to a one-day contract, so at least retires a Bengal. I know some people are like, well, what's the big deal? Like, well, the big deal is that you actually can retire, and as a Bengal. To me, that's kind of a big deal. I I hope he does. I don't know. Is that a big deal to you guys or not?
To me, it is. I think he should because it's about honoring the player. I think this should happen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's up to him. And it will for me, it'll taint his legacy if he does not, for some reason, does not want to retire a Bengal.
Mhm.
It'll be a little rough. I don't think that'll be a problem because everyone that knows AJ Greene knows he's a Bengal for life.
Right.
It is what it is.
Exactly. All right, so we had some coaching news today. Me and Greg were talking about this right before the show. Greg here says heard today we might not have Dan Pitcher. He got an interview with Tampa Bay. Yeah, he got an interview with Tampa Bay for their OC. Also, I think Lou got a second interview for the Arizona job. I'm not sure where Callahan is. And I know we just signed Pitcher to a contract extension, but if you have a chance to go be an OC somewhere else, of course, that's what he's going to try to do. So it's going to be scary if we lose all three of them. I hope to God we don't. I mean, exactly, Cap. Yeah, knock on everything you had because I don't want. Look, I don't want to say I'm okay with losing any of them, but I would rather lose one of the offensive guys, not Lou, because I think if we lose Brian, the pitch can come up. But I don't know. Where are you guys at on the nervousness? Because I'm getting kind of nervous. Because I just wish they'd hurry up and get these shots filled and not be with Bengals player, but they're Bengals coaches. Where are you guys at on this?
What do you think, Greg?
Tell you what, Lou, when I found out Lou was getting a second interview with the Cardinals, I'm like, this is going to be a long week. Then when I found out he's interviewing Fred, I'm like, this is going to be a long week for me right now. I just hope Flores or the Giants defensive coordinator who interviews before him, they just get blown away saying, you know what, we're canceling Lou interview. I just praying to God that Lou stays. Damn pitcher, don't want to lose him or anything. But like you said, Strawberry, I mean, Lou is just the one you can't afford to lose. I mean, obviously we move on, try to find someone else. But still, I'm just praying to dear Lord, Lou does not go to Arizona.
Well, go ahead, Cap.
Yeah. This is a tough thing about being a fan, and then some of the fans that work hard to be close to the team. Man, Lou is such a good dude. I didn't even know. Like, I can't tell you enough. And I get it. It sounds like, oh, it's all about me. But like him coming up to us and being excited to see us. And
he'll take selfies with you anytime you ask, too.
The way he treats a fan, like people, the media doesn't give that enough attention. He is such a good dude. Like his energy is way, I thought he was this hard-assed, ball busting defense, and he probably is. I'm sure that locker room at halftime sometimes is not pleasant, but he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
So I will be absolutely overjoyed if he ends up getting something. My dogs are losing their mind. If he gets a promotion and gets that big payday, that's fantastic. But if he stays, that's also fantastic. It's win-win.
Right.
Pitcher, we know Joe Burrow absolutely loves Pitcher. But the thing in all this, got to remember, Zach Taylor found Lou after how many other possible options he found Lou. He surrounded Joe Burrow with quarterback mindsets of quarterbacks to help Joe. Zach Taylor's going to keep doing it. So if we lose them all three, I can't imagine that we're that unlucky. Zach will find replacements. He's going to continue to make sure he knows how important culture is because we've had at least one person hired who didn't fit the culture that he wanted to build. And he knows that. So he will continue to do the right thing. And we are a destination for people. People want to coach and play in Cincinnati. So no matter what, if we lose some people, it's going to stink. I love them all. I want to keep them all. But
the thing that happens when you have a winning organization, you're going to lose coaches. That's because you can't fault these guys. These guys get into coaching because they eventually want to be a head coach, and there's only 32 of them. Me personally, I don't think Arizona is that great of a job, but if you give it a shot, you can't turn it down. It sucks. And like you said, Zach has found these guys, and like if we lose, I've said this before, if we lose Lou, people say, what about Zim? What about going to the outside? I don't think we're going to go from the outside. I think Marion Hobby you're going to bring him up from linebackers coach. I think he's your plug and play guy next. And that's where I was like, if we lose Callahan, then pitch comes up, we lose both of them, then that's a little more, a little treacherous. But I mean, in Zach, I trust, and I think we'll be fine. He'll get the right guy. Now, Michael Madsen here says, if they lose Lou, do you think our free agents, defensive players, will follow him to Arizona? Which that would be Jesse Bates, Eli Apple, Isaiah Pratt, just off the top of my head. Well, personally, I don't think they're signing Jesse Bates. I don't think they're signing Pratt anyway. Eli is up in the air. Eli might go with Lou. I mean, we might lose all three of them if Lou leaves. That's just top of my head thinking. What's your guys' thoughts?
You know what? I don't know that Lou's going to try really hard to take our guys. Mm-hmm. It's a small, close-knit community. And, I realize that Zach Taylor's brother grabbed a guy off of the practice squad, but it's a guy off the practice squad.
Right.
I don't see Lou as doing that. Hey, if he does, he's trying to make a good football team, but I don't see him doing it. I don't know if Arizona can really pay what Bates is probably asking for.
Pratt's going to get a bag. Pratt's going to get a bag. Yeah.
And you know what? We could keep Pratt. I know a lot of people don't think that it's a possibility. I think it is. I really do. I
hope
don't know.
So.
I hope so.
Go ahead, Greg.
I really hope we keep it. Cap, I hope you're right. I hope we keep Pratt. Yeah, I don't know how much. I don't know where Arizona is with all the salary cap. I don't know if I just don't know where they are in salary cap and all. And like you said, Cap, if it is, it's no hard feelings, just business and all that and stuff. Depends on if if Jesse wants to go there or if Pratt wants to go there. We just don't know. But like I say, I'm just hopeful Lou stays. But if he does get a head coaching job, I will be happy for him if he does. Deep down.
Yeah, it's hard not to be happy for him, but it's also going to suck for us. But I mean, that's what happens. I mean, it's just it is what it is. I mean. Somebody asked in here, I'll get Michael Madsen here. Because I asked your favorite AJ Greene moment, and he said him beating the poop out of Ramsey, which is such an uncharacteristic thing of AJ. He never got upset at anybody for Ramsey to go underneath
except when Ramsey was running his mouth about his family.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Ramsey said some stuff that you don't say on the football field, and AJ Greene had enough.
Right.
All I could say, AJ Greene, very classy guy. For him to do something like that, Ramsey really must have. I said to myself, Ramsey really must have done something to tick him off and all that, or something very appropriate.
Ice, is that a Bengals toilet seat?
Yes, it is. It is.
That is great.
You lift
is
the
it
lid.
on a toilet?
No, not on a
okay.
toilet. No,
are you doing the show beside the toilet?
No, you lift the front of it says now see when I was on channel 12 they did a thing on my man cave. They zoomed in on that. I'm like, oh crap, you can't really put that on TV. But what it says is lift the lid for the asshole of the week. It's got a picture of Bill Cowher underneath it.
That is great.
So yeah. So anyway, they couldn't put that on TV because of the bad word, but I can say it on here. So
yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Tom Brooks here. How much do you pay for 2 down linebackers? Yeah, I guess talking about Logan Wilson and Pratt. Is that what you mean? Or
I think he's talking about Pratt, but I know Pratt wanted to be involved more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was upset about that.
I think he was involved plenty, but I don't think it's out of the question for him to be involved more. So I would like to see them pay a little bit on potential because he's performed, playoff P is legendary around these parts, but he's got more in him. I really do believe next year he takes that next step. And I would be willing to pay a little extra for that because, unless you've just got an absolute stud that falls to you in the draft, and linebacker to me is not one of our main priorities. I know people disagree, but I would, if we get a stud O-lineman fall in the first round, I'm going O-line.
Oh yeah.
And that's not draft and need, as long as it's best play. If it's BPA within a range, I'm not saying reach, but I'm not saying if there is you've got a linebacker rated just barely above that tackle. I'm going that tackle.
Right.
You know, if it's within 3 or 4 guys, I don't
No.
say that's a read. I don't think that's
No,
draft.
that's not read. I can't disagree. I can't disagree with you on
Yeah.
that. I mean, for me, the draft is we're going up. We're looking offensive line. We're looking secondary, and we're looking tight end. Those are 3 big positions that I think we're looking at. How it all depends on how the draft falls, and then as far as Pratt goes, it just depends on. It all depends on Joe Burrow, how much jackpot signs for. That I mean, they got to get that done, and then that's the trickle down effect to figure out how much money they could pay everybody else and how Joe and his agent structured a contract. So to me, that's the first thing they got to get done in this offseason. What do you got, Craig?
Yep, one crisis at a time. You start out with Joe, then you work on T. Maybe you save T for next year and all that. You know, I mean, for the Bears and the Giants, I just got to get this out of the way. For everybody trying to say a mock trade with T. Higgins, just stop wasting your time. You're just only wasting time to make yourselves look like fools. He's not for sale. No, thank you. Bye-bye.
It's all these teams that want. It's well, I think me and Cap had this conversation during the season. The Packers fans were like, "Oh, well, the Bengals can't afford T. Higgins, so you might as well just trade him to us." No, that's not the way this works. Like, we're not trading T. I'm like, the one thing that does scare me about T is he's got the same agent as Jesse Bates. So the Bengals got to be more proactive when it comes to T, I think. And I don't want to, if we franchise tag him, which we don't have to do it next year, or we don't have to do it this year. But if they don't get something done next year, they could franchise tag. And that's where I'm going to start getting worried about it.
Yeah.
They need to be proactive and get him signed, hopefully this year, I hope. But I think they'll get it done. I think they're more. The Bengals pay wide receivers. They don't pay. I mean, they pay guards this year, but they don't want to pay guards. They don't pay safeties. They pay wide receivers. So I think they're going to pay them, and I think it's such an advantage we have. Where we have 2 number ones.
Yeah,
we do. I
think
easily.
The only thing that's going to take him out for us is like the Marvin Jones type of, hey, I want to be a number 1. I want to show what I can really do. I want to get out of somebody's shadow. That's the only thing that's, and at that point, I mean, you love T, you love T's mama, you want to see them do well, and then I'm like, okay, you know, best of luck. I hope you kill it as long as it's not against us. But as long as he's okay with the role and where the ball distribution goes, I think we find the money. I really do.
Yeah, I hope we do. Here, let's get to Chad here. Do you think they could pay Pratt and Wilson, or do you just pick one? If possible, who stays, who goes? That's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not as confident as you are, Cap, because I think another logo was that we got to resign. And that's where I'm kind of like, I don't know if you're going to put the money toward Pratt, but some things that come out, maybe they release L and they release or restructure Joe Mixon, and that could, you know, get you more like $16 million up on the cap. There's stuff they could do. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure. What do you're more along the lines that you think they can sign him, right, Cap?
Yeah, I think so. And again, I hate the off season because that's the killer. You know, somebody's going to get restructured. Restructure is great as long as the players are okay with it. They know they want to get that chip. I'm fine, but you know, the cap casualties and stuff like that, I hate talking about. It could be rough. It could be rough for people who are fans of any number of players.
He's wearing number 5 next year. He switches his number. But I agree with Brian. Where's he going to find a better quarterback than Joe? Yeah. I can't. And if you, hopefully, TJ Houshmandzadeh talks to him because TJ got his money, but he was out of the league in 3 years after that because he kept going to places where there wasn't any QB. So that's, to me, a wide receiver, to continue to have money, you got to have the quarterback. And I don't personally, I mean, I was friends with Eric Higgins, unfortunately, before he passed away. I don't know AJ. I don't know T. I personally don't think he thinks like that he has to be a number 1, he has to get out of the shadow. I think they're all friends. I really do. I think it's legit. I think they are legit tight friends. Jamar Chase or Jamar Chase, T and Joe are all friends. So I think that has something to do with it too. And they all know what they have. It's what I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe I got orange colored sunglasses on. I don't know.
It happens. I mean, you've seen it at other teams. Now, the thing is, that doesn't mean that the Bengals can approach them with a deal that they would feel is insulting.
Right. Yes. True.
And I think Andrew Whitworth spoke on it one time when he said, if they would have just told me how much they valued me,
Right.
That mattered to him. So I think the front office learned, with that and some of the blowback there. I think that's what you'll see. It's like, listen, we're building something special. We want you to continue to be a part of it. We really don't feel like we could do it without you. At the same time, there's only so much money to go around. So
the good thing is they have they're like third or fourth in cap space, I think, this year. So they do have a good chunk. But like I said, Joe's going to take a big chunk of it, even if he takes.
It's going to go quick.
Yeah, yep. It's going to go fast. So they got to be smart about it. And I'm really interested to see how Duke and Katie really work the salary cap, because they really got to try to work it this year.
Absolutely. And, back to Wilson and Pratt. I mean, before the season, it was like Logan was up here, Pratt was down here. But as near the end of the season, it's like, right there. I mean, if hypothetically, if I had to pick one, I mean, Pratt's done an amazing job. I still would pick Logan Wilson, but it's a lot closer than I thought. If they found a way to keep both of them, I'm
all for it. Yeah.
I would not complain. I would not complain one bit.
Hell no.
That way.
Absolutely not. Let's get to Michael here. Do they go big in free agency like they did the last few years? You're shaking your head, yes, Cap?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
As big as they can money-wise, because, you got to think, you can't keep going big every single year unless you're constantly signing everybody to one-year deals. But, again, players are talking about Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
The media, thankfully, is finally picking up on how much players enjoy playing for Zach Taylor. Improvements are coming. Improvements are always coming from front office down. They know Cincinnati is a destination they want to be. You got a lot of talented people who want to be appreciated and want to be able to compete for a Super Bowl. They see that in Cincinnati. So part of it is the Bengals have wanted it before. People don't realize you've got to have, it's a two-way. We can want all the stud offensive linemen. If they don't want to be here, you're never going to hear about it on Twitter. In years past, that might have been the case a couple times. Now we're going to hear about it. So yeah, they're going to go. They're going to try to make a more of a splash there. So absolutely.
Yeah, Andrew says money talk. Stay here for less money. I don't think so. Look, I keep going back to how much all these guys keep saying they want to stay here, how much they love it here, and it's not tongue in cheek. I believe
what's
them.
in New England.
Right.
Tom Brady was taking like super friendly deals for the clam chowder.
Right.
Are you serious?
And all these guys coming there for less money to win.
Exactly. He would take less in order to make sure the team had the money to build the pieces to keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. So winning does matter. And Cincinnati kicks ass, but hey.
Yeah, exactly.
We're biased.
Awesome. We're biased. I love it here. Go, Greg. What do you got?
Yeah, Tom Brady, I don't think once in his career he was ever the highest paid quarterback ever. Not once in his career. And I'm willing to go an even step further. Let me ask you guys this. I'm just going to throw out an example. New Orleans Saints, $57 million over the cap. I mean, they have to cut cap like crazy. Their right tackle, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, Ryan Ramczyk. Just say, for example, he's on the trading block. I know the Bengals never in their lives do this. Say if the Bengals called those Saints and the Saints said, we want your second and fifth round pick for a guy that's proven the best right tackle in the league by Pro Football Focus. Do you see the Bengals doing something like that to go all in?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, you could save money. You could save money on the draft picks that you would lose, and then you put it toward him. Another option is, and I heard this on Cincy 360 with Tony Pike and Austin Elmore, where they're talking about if you cut Lyle Collins and you cut Joe Mixon or whatever, which I love Joe Mixon. I want them to I want him to stay here, but there's a chance they could cut him. I think that frees up like $16 million. And yeah, there you go. You got the card. And I think the right tackle for Jacksonville? I think there is Pro Football Focus or somebody is projecting him at like $16 million. So you could theoretically do that. Will they? I have no idea. There's so many things up in the air to see what they're going to do this year. And that's why I'm excited and nervous about this offseason to see what the hell they're going to do. Because, last year we all like, all right, we got to fix the offensive line. We knew that. They did it. Now it's this year. It's like, okay, we got to keep as much as we can. It's more of the thing. Keep what we got. That's where the interesting thing is going to be this year.
I still wouldn't mind dominance on the offensive line, though.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
If there's somebody that I'm pretty, and hey, I have been a Jonah Williams defender. Mm-hmm. I feel like this past year has not been up to his potential. I feel like he can do better. I don't know, how bothered by injuries he was. That kneecap could have been a thing, way more than we thought. But if there's somebody better, hey, I hate this part of the business, but if you want to win a championship, everyone is expendable. Mm-hmm. I mean, heaven forbid a better QB than Joe Burrow falls in your lap for free. You put him on the squad. There is not one out there.
No,
but
there's not.
I mean, they would let Chiefs fans, they would let Pat Mahomes back up Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. I guarantee it.
Yes, they would. Yes,
don't put that on Twitter. Dear God, I can't even fathom my DMs.
Oh, dude, I'm so sick of Chiefs fans. I've said this enough all last week. Chiefs fans, you didn't kick our ass. You beat us by 3 points.
Yeah.
We literally gave you the game along with the refs. Whatever.
If we can make significant strides at other, absolutely love Karras. Absolutely love Karras. Super impressed with Volson. I don't care what Pro Football Focus says.
I like it too.
I can't wait to see Volson in the second year.
Mm-hmm. Bulk up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kappa didn't really hear anything about him, which is fantastic.
Good news.
Questions early about Collins. I think the injury took a little longer. If I hate to say it, but you know what they say, one of the best abilities is availability. Right. Is he going to go 19 games, not miss a snap? Is Jonah going to pick up, where he left off, some of his prime years? Is there a better tackle somewhere?
Is Jackson Carman did what he did in the last 2 games?
Jackson Carman impressed,
right.
He it seems like he kept working, he kept fighting, and he took advantage of the opportunity once he had it.
I mean, he impressed the hell out of me.
But at the same time, yeah.
I was just saying, Jackson Carman impressed the hell out of me, to be honest, the opportunity he got, because he was like not dressing for most of the games. So, I mean, for me, I agree with what you're saying. The interior line is perfectly fine. I would not change one player out of there. The tackles, yes, you could improve them. And like I said, is Jackson Carman one that you leave in to fight for, a right or left tackle? Will L be ready by the time the season rolls around? Because he's a big guy, is recovering from an ACL injury, because remember Hopkins 2 years ago, he had the ACL, he came back, but he was never that mobile as he was before. So that's where I wouldn't be surprised if they go and try to get a right tackle. Like you said, if there's a right tackle that falls to us in a draft, absolutely draft them, and I would love to get some road graders out there, but the interior line is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Keelan said it best. Where'd he go? We raised the floor of the O-line last offseason. Now we need to raise the ceiling. I love that. I love that comment.
That's a good comment. I couldn't put it any better than that. I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Let's see here. Quill. Okay, let's go to Quill again here. All I'm saying is Dwan Jones and Darren Wright look so good at 28. This is where I have not dove into the draft yet. I don't even know who they are, to be honest. I gotta get some more guys who are more draft experts than me to answer that question. Have you guys know anything about either one of those guys?
Show of hands. I've done a bunch of PFF mock drafts. I've seen the names and all that just for
I haven't got to do that.
I don't watch enough college. I lean on Goodberry for that. I'll lean on some of the position experts like Sands and Minnick and Santori, being the DB coach at Great stuff from them.
Parker Blake's another good one.
I'll dive in. I'll watch what I'll do. I'll see what everybody else is talking about. I'll do, like Greg said, do a couple of mock drafts and see particular positions and what names pop up. And then I'll go watch some highlights, and then I'll probably pick a favorite. So I do very, very little work. Yeah. I'll just latch onto a guy and hope.
Yeah. I watch everybody else, and then Goodberry, Dale. I'll watch Parker Blake, all these guys. I'm like, oh, okay. And I kind of watch what they say. Yeah. All right, Dallas. If we can't get this situation fixed, we're never going to get over the hump. I think he means line. But the thing is, we're close. Before Joe was the playoff hump. Now it's the O-line. We've been to championship game back to back. See, one thing, okay, this is one thing. When people are coming at me that say we got to get the offensive line fixed, look, our offensive line actually played pretty good when all 5 of them were in there. I mean, I don't know what the numbers were, but we won 10 games in a row. All right? Joe Burrow, jackpot, was balling. So this narrative that, oh, my God, our offensive line sucked all year is so wrong. Yep. And that just drives me nuts. And we played awesome against Buffalo. They didn't touch Joe Burrow. So the problem to me, if we go with Jonah, which I think they're going to go Jonah because they signed him, they sent him to the 5-year contract or 5-year extension, or 5th-year extension. I'll get it right. Le'el, you have to figure out if Le'el is going to be healthy. And if not, then Jax Carman or Adeniji. I know people don't like Adeniji, but Adeniji played good up until the last game of the AFC Championship game. But Jax Carman,
think part of Adeniji's problem was right guard too. Max struggled, and they really targeted that side to give them fits, and they just weren't prepared.
Yeah,
so
if you have Alex Kapp in there, if you have our starters in there, it's a different freaking.
Oh game. Yeah, we win.
Like they beat us by 3 effing points
with help. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Hey,
Greg.
Strawberry breaking news. I just got a text. Flores went to the Vikings.
Who did?
Flores went to the Vikings. I believe defensive coordinator. That's what I was just texted.
Okay.
Ryan Flores. He was in the final. Now I guess it's now down to, from what we know, Lou and the Giants offensive coordinator now.
For the Arizona job?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe Flores was interviewing for the defensive coordinator job. That's what I was texted.
Okay, yeah, because Flores, he was back with the Steelers this past year, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, I got you. All right, so I was just making sure you didn't say Lou went.
No, Flores went.
I got you. Now I know this is one that people talk to me about. Jones, 6'8", 358 out of Ohio State left tackle.
I think I saw Willie highlighting him.
Yeah, right. Willie's talked about him. Dale's been on here last week talking about him. I don't know if he's there, and the Bengals necessarily don't trade up in the drafts, and I don't really see them doing that this year. I think they're going to try to concentrate on signing their guys, unless there's somebody they absolutely fall in love with. But I don't see them trading up. If that guy's there at 28, then hell yeah, they're going to sign him or draft him, I think. But I don't know. It's everything is so up in the air right now. Like I said, we're just getting started. We got 3 months till the draft. I'm like,
Strawberry. I just don't get my hopes up for some player that I want so badly. I'm like, oh great, he's not gonna. I'm like, I'll give you an example. Darqueze Dennard. I didn't even read into him. Like I wanted him. Like there's no way he's gonna be there. Then Darqueze Dennard fell to us like at 24 that year. You just don't know. I try not to like a player too much because I just get heartbroken if he gets.
When you're picking 28, it's hard.
Yeah,
when we're picking like the top 5. All right, I want to go. You kind of figure out where the guy's going to fall, but you're picking 28. Who knows?
Yeah,
I haven't got a clue where it's going to drop here. All right, Stranger, he did a mock draft here. I saw a mock draft where Keelan Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia, falls to us in the 2nd. I figured we'd be lucky if he drops to us in the 1st. Thoughts? Anybody from Georgia's pretty good. Yeah. Their defense was outstanding. I do see us drafting DBs. Like I said, I think our needs, which was really not needs, but just depth, is offensive line, DBs, and tight end. Now, this is all which I hope we sign Hayden Hurst. I want a tight end to back him up. I want to re-sign Hayden Hurst. So I could So I definitely, those are the 3 spots that I think the Bengals would be looking for in the first 3 rounds, to be honest.
Well, my question to you guys is this. If you notice the last couple of drafts with Zach, we doubled down on positions. One year was linebacker with Wilson, Gaithers, and Bailey. Last year we doubled down. Well, we tripled down defensive back with Dax, Cam Taylor-Britt, and Tyson Anderson. My question to you guys is, what position do you – well, obviously we have to see what happens in free agency. What position do you guys seeing us doubling down this year if that happens again, or when we're tripling down?
Could be tight end.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got one. Actually, you don't have any.
Yeah.
Do you? Because Wilcox is a free agent. Hurst is a free agent.
Yeah.
Drew Sample's a free agent.
Yeah, technically, if you're talking about who signed, we have 0. So
yeah. So that I can see them doubling down on that, because you got to get somebody. If you sign Hurst, which I know we all agree, we hope they do. You got to get somebody on there. And I don't see, people keep saying this in defensive line. Yeah, I would say always take defense line, but that's our defense line play good. And this is what I think people, we got to get more pressure on them. We got to do this. Dude, we went for 8 games in a row with nobody scoring on us for the second half. I mean, this narrative that our defense, it just drives out when we got to improve our defense line. We got pressure on them. The quarterback's trying to get rid of the ball fast. I don't care if we don't get pressure on them, as long as they don't freaking score.
And if you're allowed to hold as much as the Chiefs offensive line was, you're not going to get
right
the pressures that you should.
Right.
You know, it happens. So
I don't know. I agree with that. I do agree with that, Tom. He said BJ Hill played too many snaps. I do agree with that. We need to. There could be.
If we could get one more stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guy that is just going to be in the backfield all day long. That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Zach Carter and all those guys can step up more. I mean, look, Joseph Osai, I'm looking for a big year for him next year. Oh, he played a hell of a game until Patrick Holmes decided to throw himself into the bench. But that's beside the point. He played a hell of a game. And to me, if he could bring that energy and that kind of pressure every game next year, shoot, that right there is going to give us more pressure on the quarterbacks than we had all year.
Zach Carter, he did well near the end of the year, but the thing of it is, if you can find a 3-tech, like for example, if you could find another Geno Atkins in his prime, you'd get that guy immediately in here.
Oh, absolutely.
Losing Larry Ogunjobi, I don't think we ever really replaced Larry Ogunjobi last year, who was just a great pass rusher. If there's a guy out there that you can find that can be that type of pass rusher in the interior, go get him immediately. I wouldn't even be against us getting another pass rusher. You can never have enough pass rushers. If there is a pass rusher there for us at 28 that they know can get us maybe 8 or 9 sacks.
Well, Larry always signed a 1-year contract with the Squealers, I think. So,
yeah,
there's that.
I'd be against Larry. I welcome you back.
Heck yeah. All right, Michael Madsen, do we take a running back in this draft? I think they're going to.
Yes.
I mean, because Piron's a free agent. They don't know what's going to do with Mixon. I think they're taking one.
I think they'll take him late, real late if they do, because,
right.
Again, I'm going to say it, Travion Williams.
Yeah. Got to sign him, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to sign him.
I could see him signing. Again.
Honestly, Cap, I'd be okay. Look, I love Mixon. This is not anything against Mixon, but I mean, if we go into the year next year with Travion Williams and Smarj as our number 1, number 2 running back, and then a rookie we picked up in the 3rd or 4th round, or 4th or 5th round, along with Chris Evans, I'm good with that, to be honest. I think that would be fine, because Travion and Smarj both are better pass blockers than Joe Mixon. And it's nothing against Joe. I love Joe. If we keep him, awesome. But the problem is Joe still can't pass block. And whether anybody likes it or not, this offense is a pass-first offense. We're going to be yelling, run the ball from here till Zach Taylor's no longer the coach, I think. It's always going to be like that. So you need a running back who can pass block. And that is, I won't say more important, but just as important as get somebody who can run the ball.
Joe can do that, though.
He hasn't consistently, though. That's the thing, Cap.
He has prior to this year. There were some bad snaps this year, but if you look at his block grades prior to, he's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, I was saying Joe could do it, but then he really didn't this year. So that's where. But Joe also had one of his best productive years ever.
They're trying to figure out what's the offensive line.
Yeah.
The offensive line gels. They know their assignment. Then Joe can more easily pick who he's got to chip.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
simple.
again, there's so much stuff up in the air. There's so many things to talk about and what they're gonna do. I mean, it's ridiculous. The Fox here says Larry's gonna want big money. Meaning Larry O. I mean, did he have that? I mean, I have no idea. Did he have that great of a year in Pittsburgh? To be honest, I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea. Let's see here what we got here. Rotations week. Yep, put that up there. Got that one. I'm trying to find some stuff that we have that I missed while we're talking. You guys got a?
I'm finally looking at the mock draft, and Joey Porter Jr. keeps coming to me, and it really pissed me off.
Oh,
I don't want Joey Porter Sr. anywhere near Cincinnati.
Oh, I'd have such a hard time.
Oh,
with
man.
That name on. Oh my God, I said that before because somebody did their first mock draft and Joey Porter in the first round. I'm like, I hate his dad.
Yeah,
I don't hate many people. I mean, I cannot stand his dad.
I'll cheer for whoever's in stripes.
I'd cheer for
his dad.
Oh, yes.
I'd ask him why he thought he had to jump our guys at a casino like a punk.
Right.
And it's probably not going to end well because, I mean, he's still a big dude.
Yeah. Anyway, Tom Brooks here says on the rewatch, he got run by a lot. I guess he means on the in the Kansas City game. Talk about Mixon. I've only rewatched it once. It was on NFL Network, and I tortured myself when I got back Monday night to watch it. So I have to watch it a little better, which I may not. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's see here, Andrew. But you need a good running game. It will make Joe better. Well, the thing is, if you like you said, Cap. Once we get the offensive line cohesive, which it took us 2 games to get the offensive line cohesive, the running game got better. That's the point to this whole thing. If you have a cohesive offensive line, you can, and that's the reason I hate to say it, running backs are dime a dozen. That's why you don't see very many first-round running backs, because you can run the ball with an average running back with a really good offensive line. That's where we're at on this. And Joe, I think he could be like third on the highest salary as far as the Bengals go this year. That's not really what a lot of championship teams do. They don't pay their running backs that much. It's nothing against Joe. It's just the way the structure of the NFL is. All right, let's see here. Dallas. I love Mixon, but he was too inconsistent. The O-line was one of the worst in pass protection. See, that's where I don't agree with PFF. Anyway, even with the new ramped up line, so maybe you get better plays on the line. He'll be better. I see.
Yeah. When you look at Joe and the amount of pressure that he got, he was pressured one of the least amount QBs in the NFL. So it's like, I think pass protection they did pretty well. I worry about, and I don't know enough. I didn't go back and look, but okay. Is it Mixon not hitting the hole when he should, or is it run blocking not quite giving him the look that they were supposed to?
I mean,
I don't know. I'll leave that for somebody else to decide. But
we won 10 games in a freaking row. 10.
Mixon's still the dude that had the 5 touchdowns in one game.
Right. Don't forget that. I know everybody's got the Chiefs game and the taste in their mouth. Remember the whole season. We won 10 games in a row. It's not like we got to blow this whole thing up. Honestly, you got to figure out if Lel is going to be healthy. If Lel is going to be healthy, then I think they're probably going to go with him, to be honest. That's what I think. I mean, if a right tackle falls to him in the first round, yeah, I think they'll draft him.
Yeah.
You got to wait and see. But you don't need to blow up everything. That's where I'm like, we don't need the defensive line. Yes, you can add somebody. Defensive line is still pretty good. The offensive line, yes, you could tweak it here or there. It's not, we got to blow the thing up. That's where my mind is exploding with Bengals fans saying that, we got offensive line issues again. Like, no, we really don't. No. We lost 3 of our starters. Depth-wise, you could say that. But, hell, the week before that against Buffalo, it was great. It was a bad matchup, and you got to get Chris Jones played great. I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to give it to the other team. He played really good.
Can we agree? The offensive line last year, I mean, we would have just been grateful like last year when the offensive line was just the word horrible last year. Where they got to now, I mean, that's great. But now you want to set a higher ceiling is what you want to do right now. We got to where we got to. We were down here. Now we're here, but we want to get up here now. That's what, like I've said earlier, that's where if I'm at a casino right now, and I normally don't go to casino much, I'm reaching in my pocket, getting every chip I have, and just say, here we go, all in, 100% to get the offensive line better. But no, we were not, compared to last year, we were so much better. But I'm just saying, crank it up a notch like we did.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with Tom here, which I don't know. He said there's no way Collins is healthy for the first 3 to 5 games. I have no idea. I know Trey Hopkins, 2 years ago, he came back from torn ACL and he didn't miss a game. Now, he didn't play that great, but he came back.
Right.
Now, that's where I keep saying, like, they could, like I said, they could release, just say you cut Joe Mixon and you cut La'el. That frees up $16 million. $16 million is probably going to get you a pretty good right tackle. Will they do that? I don't know. But that's the things they could do. And if you do that, then you most likely have Jonah at left tackle, or you take Carm, which, I mean, Jonah's got his 5th-year option. I don't see them benching him. I just don't, because that's too big of a cap hit. And then you still have Collins as the backup. I do think we need to get some better guys behind them, though. I do agree with that, even though they did play good in Buffalo. You can always improve, but it's not we have to blow the whole freaking thing up.
No.
That's where I get irritated with it. I see you, Tom. I think the line is much better at the start of 23. Yes. Let's put it this way, Tom. All right, let's just say we have a different right tackle. That's one position instead of 3 last year. So that right there makes your offensive line better. So we'll see. Dallas. Buffalo doesn't have a great pass rush, though. Say we beat KC with all that pass rush last week. Do you think we beat the Eagles against? Well, the thing is, if we won last week, there's a good chance that Kappa could have came back, and Jonah Williams could come back. So yeah, that's the thing is if we would have beat them, they would have had 2 more weeks to get ready. Most likely Kappa would have came back, and most likely Jonah would have came back. Is from what I've read. I don't know what you guys got.
That's a good question. I'll put it this way: that Eagles defensive line. You know what though? You go to the Super Bowl. I still would have had all faith, but not going to lie to you. I have never in my life seen a defensive line on any team. Each of their players had 10 sacks. I mean, that's incredible right there. But at the same time, Super Bowl.
But I think there's a good shot we'd have, almost all of our starters on the offensive line for Super Bowl except for La'el. That's just what I'm saying. Because that's what it kept trending toward. And everybody kept kind of hinting at that,
I've felt that way, but even still, I'm with Greg. That defensive line, man, they could be a problem for a long time, and it stinks because, dang it, I want it to be our time. Sometimes it's luck. What they put together, it's working. How long can they keep it together?
That's the thing.
We'll wait and see.
Right, that's the thing.
Yep, can't pay them all.
All right, let's go Mike Overstreet here. The run plays they would call for Mixon was trash, a.k.a. toss and sweep, which he is not great at. When they would call runs between the tackles, he was consistent 3 to 6 yards, just an opinion. But we could get rid of him and be just fine with P. Ryan. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I mean, like I said, it's nothing, no Joe hate. I think we could get rid of Joe and be fine. I don't want to get rid of him because I love him because I'm a Bengals fan, but I can see that. And I honestly think P. Ryan fits better with the offensive scheme because I think in the Kansas City game, he played 80%, 70% of the snaps, something like that I read. Yep. I mean, there's a reason he was in there more than Mixon was.
I mean, P. Ryan, look, he doesn't have any great flash. He's not like Barry Sanders or anything like that. He just comes in and makes plays. He comes in and gets you that first down when you need him to, like to kill clock or whatever near the end of the game. He makes that big pass block. He doesn't have any of that big talent, but he just comes in and shows up every single day. That's all I'm a player. Yeah,
I mean, the only thing against him is his pass blocking and the money he's going to be owed this year. And that just where it depends on what they want to do. That's all it is. Greg here. What y'all think about putting Jackson at left tackle and Jonah at right? All right, so me and Dale talked about this. I'm not against it, but it's just you'd be taking one guy and flipping him to the other side where he hasn't played. But I think Jonah played right in college, so I'm not against it, and that's something that it's up to Frank Pollock. It could be something they do. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not against it. I'm not either way. It's definitely an option. What do you got, Cap, as you're eating? Or Greg, you go first. Let Cap eat.
Okay. That's occurred to me and all, but I think they're going to, like I say, I just personally think it goes back to what I was saying, going all in. I think they're going to do everything they can to make this offensive line a heck of a lot better. I wouldn't be against it. Would I be a little concerned about it? You'd have to see what happens, but but if I were a betting man, I'm going to say 30 or 40% chance that happens. I just really think they're going to go all in and do whatever they can.
The thing I said, just think if the Ohio State guy falls to us, and you just for shits and giggles here, we put Jonah at right, or him. Sorry, that guy from Ohio State at right tackle, and Jonah at left tackle. Our offensive line would be ginormous. It would be one of the biggest offensive lines in the freaking league.
Yeah.
Again, will they do? I have no idea. It's just thoughts out there. What do you got, Cap?
No. I don't know. I don't think that they'll rule anything out. They could try it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to ask. I wonder. I'm kind of curious now how often they do try it. I know they want to get guys like reps at different positions, but I don't think they hammer that like some teams do. I think Pollock's an old school guy. That more along the line of Duke Manyweather was like, stop trying to get these guys to fit into your mold. If he's a left tackle, he's a left tackle.
Right.
Yeah.
And that bodes well for Jonah being right tackle. But hey.
Yeah, Jonah played right tackle in college. I mean, Jackson played left tackle in college, and he already showed he could do it. I mean, that is, to me, that is a very legitimate plan or option, because I would be surprised if Lyle is ready to go for the season. And there's part of me that, like I keep saying, they might cut him. I don't know, and I hate talking about that, but it's just it's just the facts of what could happen this year.
Yeah.
Let's see here, Brian here. AFC and the NFC next year, walk in the park. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I just want to say it looks easy next year, but you still though treat every game like it's a hard game and all that. I mean, the schedule for next year, compared to this year, it looks like a piece of cake next year, but still, you don't know who's going to be better. You don't know what's going to happen when and all that. I remember after we played the Panthers, everybody's like, oh, there's no way. I had some people tell me there's no way we're winning the division. The season's over. I'm like, wait a minute now. Let's just worry about this team this week. Cleveland this week, Kansas City whenever. One game at a time here and all that. And the point I'm making is it looks easy, but you don't know, hey, is this team going to be good at this time next year? But still, yeah, I'm very confident going into next year. But at the same time, do not turn your back on anybody.
Yep.
Oh, exactly. It's the NFL, dude. It's not for long.
Any given Sunday.
We just got to get in the playoffs. That's it.
Yep. That's all I care about.
And all I got to say about this one is fly, Eagles, fly. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I want the Eagles to win because I don't want Patrick Mahomes to have 2 Lombardis, and Joe hasn't got one yet. I don't want him to get that far ahead of him. That's where my head is.
I would love to see Carlos Dunlap get one.
Yeah.
That would personal.
Travis is a Bearcat, but he's already got one.
Exactly. But you know what? I admittedly, and not being petty, forget all the horrible Chiefs fans, horrible, like millions of just some of the worst people in the world. Forget those. Man, what a story. Jalen Hurts, there were a lot of people knocking him, making fun of him, like he wasn't going to work out and this and that. And I kind of like us, hearing a little bit about his story growing up and everything. I look at that, then I look at Brittany and Jackson Mahomes, and I'm like, you know what? Eagles all the way. Like, it's just an easy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
People talk about the Bengals fans and the Bengals team being annoying. No. Go on TikTok. That's it. Done. The debate's over. Right. Chiefs win that by a mile.
Hey, Ice, we do know one thing. A Bearcat will win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Porch. Yeah, Jason was a Bearcat too. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, about one of them's going to have their second one, which is ridiculous.
No. My question to you guys is this. Should their Kelsey's mom do the coin toss for the Super Bowl? There was thing they posted on their petition. It's got like over 1,000 signatures. I think that should happen.
That's funny.
That'd be hilarious. I have
That'd
no
be
idea.
something.
Yeah, actually, Jason already got one. Jason got a ring. He got it with the Eagles last time. So they both already got rings. So one of them's getting their second one.
Yeah, one's getting their second.
So I have a question. Now, then I did kind of title the show this. And are you guys gonna be? Honestly, I'll be watching the Super Bowl. I'm a football nut. I love football. I mean, I was watching the Senior Bowl Saturday. So will you guys be watching it?
Maybe not.
Probably.
Greg, you said probably.
Yeah.
Cap, no.
Maybe not. I don't know. You know, part of me wants to watch it because I know I'm just going to be able to get under Chiefs fan skin with all the calls that go their way, and every single one I'm going to be like rapid fire on Twitter.
That sounds nothing like you, Cap.
Just poke, just constant. At the same time, you know what? If they win, there's going to be a gigantic asterisk on the win. So it's like, well, you know what? They shouldn't even be there. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to give the NFL the least money possible for, outside of the Bengals. Support my Bengals, but outside of that, the league is trash. The officiating is trash. The comments from the commission are trash. It's all trash. Everything that they do is basically garbage, except for our Bengals.
Exactly. Bengals forever. Cincinnati versus the world. All right, guys, you've been on for almost an hour. Let me let you plug your stuff. Cap, you got a show tomorrow night or anything? What do you got going on?
I don't know. I am going to try my hardest not to be a recluse this off season. So I might just hop on myself and talk to myself. So
you can always jump on here.
Yeah, I might.
I appreciate you jump on. Well, see, look, I appreciate you always come on every Monday. So when the season ends, I'm kind of like, okay, I'll give him a break. And then I'm like, I had somebody cancel on me. I'm like, oh, crap, I need somebody. I mean, I can do this by myself, but it's more fun talking to somebody. So
it's like hanging out with friends, though,
Yeah, exactly. It's just like we're tailgating.
Yeah.
No beard, no uniform or anything. But, other than that, same thing. Yeah. But so I just appreciate you guys jumping on. Greg, what do you guys got come on rally? You guys are on tonight, right?
Yeah, tonight at 7. I think we're just down to Mondays as of right now and all that. So, yeah, come see us at 7 o'clock tonight.
All right, boys. Well, I appreciate you. And we'll have to do this again. Who day?
Absolutely. Who day?
Yeah, nobody's as crazy as I am to do it every single day. They're all smarter than I am. They do it once or twice, and then they slow down during the summertime. So, anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I got some guests. I just spent the day DMing, texting people, trying to get somebody to come on. So I have people coming on tomorrow. Tomorrow we got my boy Dale. Plus we have YB Assad, who I was trying to get on last week, but I wasn't able to. I just want to hear his experience of the week before growing up to the AFC Championship game when he had the song "They Gotta Play Us" and how it blew up and all this stuff. So I've been dying to talk to him. So he'll be on for a little bit. And also got Dale on. I know Dale's got some thoughts on the Senior Bowl and different things like that. So this is, like I said, I like having guys like Dale on. I'm going to have Parker Blake on next week. So I got a lot of good guests coming on. So make sure you guys stick with me, and I will try to get you through this offseason. We got 7 months to go. We got Bearcat basketball, which I'm going to get some Bearcats on here. So I know some people on here. I know most of you guys watch me for Bengal stuff, but I do like the Bearcats and the Reds. Bearcats are playing pretty good. They won the last 2 games. We'll see what happens. I might be reaching out for Terry Nelson or somebody like that to try to get them on. Anyway, let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one of them. They are Who Dey Nation, Who Dey Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, Radical Reds, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar, and then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trenopole. TikTok is at Iceman90. I'll be pulling the sound off later on tonight, putting it on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, and review. Give me a 5-star review on Apple. Leave a comment on Spotify so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. YouTubers, we're at 2,108 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Let's keep it rolling. Like I said, I know we're in the offseason, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Lots of free agents, what we're going to do the draft, We're going to sign anybody. We're going to cut people. A lot of stuff going on. So make sure you stick with me. Let's have some fun. Other than that, you guys stay, well, I'd say stay warm, but it's actually warmed up now. It's like my wife came back into town, and she always brings the warm weather with her. So when she leaves, she takes out all the warm weather with her. Now she's back. It's all nice and warm again. So anyway, I see you guys tomorrow. Ready? Other than that, that's your sports, baby. See ya!
In the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, day we ignite in Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white. Day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Wake up the beast, every game day is a feast. Time to bust it off the leash. In the jungle, dripping heat. Tigers strike the city streets. East side, stand up. West side, stand up. If you reppin', who that? Time to put your hands up. Bengals stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earn our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, get the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we beastin' now. Thunder through the tunnel from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes be tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in dripping orange and black and white.